Hello guys, how you doing? It's Football Heaven 24/7. I'm your host Jamie. Um, it's going to be like quite a quick episode today, mainly because it's international weekend, as you know. England drew 1-1 with Ukraine away at Ukraine. Goal from Walker after Zinchenko scored first for Ukraine to make it a 1-1 draw. But I believe England are still something like 6 points clear at the top of the table. So other teams underneath have got games in hand. The main team that you would expect to be against England in the group would be Italy, but they're quite far down, but they've only played 2 games. But anyway, I'm going to jump into what was available in League One and League Two at the weekend. There wasn't any games in the Championship or the Premier League because of the international games. So I'm just going to jump straight into it. So there was only 2 games in League One, and one of the games was top of the table at the start of the day, Exeter, and they were up against Leyton Orient. Now, Leyton Orient had a bit of an indifferent start to the season. Coming into the game, they'd won 1, drawn 1, and lost 4, but they got a surprise 2-1 victory. They came back from 1-0 behind to win 2-1. They got 2 goals in the last 10 minutes of the game. So, yeah, good victory for Leyton Orient, which meant that when Stevenage drew 2-2 at home to Carlisle, because they were only behind uh, Exeter on goal difference, Stevenage actually jumped above them, so that was good for them. So 2-2 draw there between Stevenage and Carlisle. So top of the table in League One, Stevenage are top, 14 points. Bolton didn't play at the weekend because of internationals. They're in second. In the playoffs in League One, it's Exeter, Port Vale, Portsmouth, and Cambridge. And in the relegation zone in League One, it's Wigan Athletic, Burton Albion, Fleetwood Town, and Cheltenham. So that's what's going on there. But in League Two, there was pretty much a full round of games in League Two, so that was a bit more to focus on. A bit of an indifferent weekend. Some of the favourites didn't really do that well in League Two. Notably, Forest Green against Crewe. Forest Green were 1-0 up in that game, but they ended up losing 4-1 at home to Crewe. Crawley beat Newport 4-1. Swindon won 5-3 against Luton Town. They were 3-0 up inside 20 minutes in that game, which was insane, Swindon. A guy that plays for them called Jake Young is now the top goal scorer. They've only played 6 games in the season and he's already got 9 goals. And he came on loan from Bradford City. I'm surprised Bradford City aren't taking him back. So Bradford City had done this before. They loaned a player to Swindon in the past. And then the player's gone on and scored a ton of goals. It was an Irish fellow, I've forgotten his name though. But yeah, 5-3 win for Swindon though. Well done to them. A couple of goals for Kemp, a couple of goals for Jake Young, really good goal scorers in League Two. Wrexham are getting back on their feet after a bit of a slow start. They won 2-1 against Doncaster Rovers. Doncaster look pretty much doomed. They're bottom of League Two at the moment. Don't know if they've sacked their manager yet, Grant McCann, the former Scunthorpe United player, but I think they probably will be sacking him soon because they're on a really poor run. They've not even won a game this season. They've played 7 games, drawn 2 and lost 5, so they're rock bottom of League Two. But anyway, I'll just do the rest of the games from League Two. Accrington lost 3-0 against Mansfield. Wimbledon lost 2-1 at home to Stockport County. Bradford City drew 1-1 with Grimsby Town in the early kick-off on Saturday. Gillingham won 1-0 against Harrogate. MK Dons and Notts County, 2 of the top teams in League Two, they drew 1-1. Salford lost 2-1 at home to Walsall. And Colchester, who were down near the relegation zone at the start of the day, won 2-0 against Tranmere. Their 2-0 win meant that Tranmere boss Ian Dawsey got sacked. Tranmere lost the last 6 games, so not really a surprise there that he ended up getting sacked. So how the table looks in League Two, Gillingham are still top because Gillingham got a 1-0 win right at the end of the 90th minute against Harrogate. That puts them top of the table. Notts County could have been top had they have won at MK Dons, but they didn't do the drew, so they're in second. Mansfield are in third, the last automatic promotion spot. And then in the playoff areas in League Two, it's MK Dons, Swindon Town, Crewe, and Wrexham. It should be noted that Swindon Town in their last 2 home games have scored 11 goals, which is absolutely insane. Down in the relegation zone, it's Sutton United and Doncaster Rovers that could go down to the conference if it stays like that, but it probably won't, let's be honest. So in that league, we've got, in the League Two and League One, you've still got about another 40 games or 39 games to go for most of the teams. So, yeah, there's still a lot to play for. Nothing's really wrapped up. But what I'm going to do just quickly, I'm going to just go through the National Conference. I don't normally do it, Vanarama National Conference. I'm only doing it because there's no Premiership games on this week, or from the weekend, and no Championship, as I said earlier. So jumping in the Vanarama League, Barnet are top of the league, and Barnet, they won 3-0 against Altrincham at the weekend. In the playoff places, in the non-league, it's Chesterfield, Solihull Moors, Hartlepool United, Halifax Town Gateshead and Ebbsfleet United. And in the relegation zone in the conference, it's Dorking, AFC Fylde, York City and Southend. Southend are only bottom because they've had a 10-point deduction because of financial irregularities in the pension fund, as he used to say in Father's Head. But anyway, so that's what's going on there. I'm going to do Conference North and South, just breeze through it quick. In the Conference North, unfortunately, one of my teams, Scunthorpe, they dropped to second. Their game was mental. They were playing a game against a team called Buxton. Buxton were 2-1 up. They missed the penalty. Scunthorpe missed the penalty to make it 2-2, and then it was into injury time, but there was 5 minutes of injury time to go. But there was a torrential downpour for sort of like the last 20 minutes of the Scunthorpe game. The ball was barely moving across the pitch, and the game ended up getting called off. So Buxton managers and the players thought that they'd won the game because the referee blew his whistle early, and they were showing off and putting their finger to their lips to shut up the home fans. But they ended up having the game abandoned, which was quite funny to see after they'd been so cocky. So that game's going to be played again. That was the main story from the Conference North. Tamworth, as a result of Scunthorpe not getting anything on Saturday, Tamworth crept ahead of them in the table. So Tamworth are top of the table. In the playoff areas, it's Scunthorpe, South Shields, Spennymoor Town, Brackley, Blythe Spartans and Chorley. Relegation zone in a Conference North, you've got Kings Lynn Town, Peterborough Sports, Gloucester City and Darlington. So that's what's going on there. Conference South, Bath City are top. Bath City won away 1-0 at Welling. And then in the relegation, in the playoffs even, you've got Worthing, Torquay, Aveley, Taunton Town, Yeovil and Chelmsford Town. Relegation zones Welling, Dover and Havant and Waterlooville. So I believe, so that's what's going on there with those teams. So I've just brushed through it quickly. My assessment of the England game, England were really crap, to be fair. He is playing, like a lot of people would agree, some of the people that watch this, that he's playing Maguire and Pickford and players like that aren't really doing that well at their clubs. Some of them aren't even getting any games, to be fair. John and Henderson playing over in Qatar is past it, I think. So for me, he shouldn't have played those players. He should be playing people like James Ward-Prowse, people that are actually making assists and scoring goals in the Premier League at the highest level and playing week in, week out. So I'm sure a lot of you would agree with that. Anyway, that's my episode for the week. I've kept it short this time because there's not much on. Have a great week, whoever you support. We'll be doing other episodes and it'll be covering historical things to do with the best seasons for teams. I'm going to do a couple of those this week. So have a great week and like and subscribe. Let all your friends and family know about us. Bye for now.